Yeah, good day, guys. Welcome back to Diko graphic design training. I believe we're doing great today. Right now, I want to show you how to create a social media flyer on your Android smartphone using your PixelLab. In order to achieve this kind of a flyer, there are things or two things we need to put into mind. The first thing is kind of a color we want to use, and since it's a social media flyer that relating to products, what is the color of that particular product? That one can give us a tips on how to combine this color to make it awesome. So with everything in short, how can we achieve this? After putting that in mind, we need to think about the sizes as well. So we'll look at the size we want to use here. This is 120 by 120. That is square size. Then I've thought very well about the color which I want to use. So I will go with this particular light color, which you can see. Then after that has been done, then I will turn in my grid, go into the shape, then I will select a circle shape, go to the opacity, reduce it to 0. Then I will go to the stroke, I will increase the stroke to my best of ability if possible. I can continue increasing the size, but if you don't want the edges to be blurred, don't leave where you select the circle, just continue increasing. So when you increase it to some length, then you can position it like this or reduce it a little bit, so you can have it position here. It's not in there, just give it a color of your desire. So I give it this color because it's able to show on the background. I have to replicate. When you replicate, you can automatically centralize it, but what you need to do is to continue placing it, but the edges have to be somehow tiny, so which means you need to reduce it a little bit. When you reduce, you can be able to position it to give it the same color you want, size you want, sorry. You continue reducing and you place it to make it thick. That is the essence. Okay, so want to make it thick, then let it calm down, go down, go down. If it is not taking it, you can increase a little bit, then you reposition. Okay, perfect. So at this juncture, you need to look at it critically. If it is somehow thicker, just shift the stuff in a little bit to reduce that. After you're able to do that, you can see this is plumb. You can now merge everything together. After merging that together, then the next thing you need to do is to copy, just duplicate. When you duplicate it, you reduce the size, you can see. But when you are reducing the size, you can see it's somehow small. What can you do to do that? So you can just reduce the size or go back and reselect another one. So add this one lack, repeat the same process. Okay, repeat the same process, opacity 0, then stroke 100. Okay, reduce the size very well, can make it okay. So when you reduce the size very well, now reposition this to the center. When you do that, we copy. When you copy, then we reduce this to the center as well. As you are doing it, you can position it at the middle. So when you do that, you can centralize. After centralize, copy again, just reduce the size again, and you reposition to the center. When you are able to do that, make sure it's not as thick. beyond the first one. Okay, if it is somehow thicker than the first one, you can go back and increase the size so that it won't be as big as the first one. It won't be bigger than the first one. So when you think about the sizes, I think it's somehow closer. Reduce a bit. It's somehow closer. So now merge the three together. After that, you are going to position that at this juncture. Okay. So go back to the color. To the color. Yeah. So change the color to this. So when you view it, if it is not as thick as that, you can still adjust by selecting this, go to the stroke, then you increase the stroke. So you can position this here while you change the color. So if it is not giving you can now adjust and lay your hand on it. And I guess everything is perfect here. Lock the two together as well. Okay. So now it will remain the last one, which I want to place at the right side. So let me turn this to circle, reduce the opacity, follow the due process. You make it as big as this, so you can do a kind of a demarcation at this juncture. Increase the size a little bit as well. So when you are able to do that, you can view it, or use your eye to view it and see how it look. Okay, guess this is perfect, but I'm not really okay with that. So let's see. It's still cool like this, but I want you to go inside the beach. I increase a little bit. You can do it anyhow you want, but make sure that you make it look awesome. So now everything seems to be cool. Move it in a little bit because we must make it thicker. Make it thick like others. Okay, so that not take more space if you don't make it close in. So when you're able to do this, the next thing is to change the color. Okay, we'll go with the stroke, change the color. So after that, you have to be happy. So as you are happy, what do you need to do? You are increasing. Remember, you can position like that. Make one to be a little bit bigger than the second one. In that regards, it can give you what you want exactly. So position it well. So now when you look at it, it's not really accurate because the leg that enter will be somehow tiny, which is not cool. Now you can see, right? So this is cool. So the next thing is that still look at it. Is it up to? It's not up to yet. So increase the size a bit and you reposition. If you look at it that is a little bit bigger, increase the size a bit as well. Then you can have the authority over it. So then you move it in, then you can justify, or you can tell whether it's big enough. Okay. So when you look at it, guys, this is giving you the exact size that you wanted. So what you need to do is to just merge the stuff, the three together. So after merging, you are good to go with this. So I want to send this, the one at the bottom to the front. So what do I need to separate them to make it look awesome? So I need a particular shadow. Okay. So I will go to where I have the shadow. Place the shadow in between the line to make it work perfectly. Okay. So it will be cool like that. So I'm position this here, which I'm going to just crop perfectly. So I will position this here. So when you bring this one here, just position it in between this, not here, in between here. You can see. So we'll make it look separate and awesome. So if you don't want it to be more darker like that, go to opacity, reduce the opacity a little bit. to make it look fresh and enable the affect shadow. Perfect. Now lock the two, lock everything. Now it seems we are getting there. Now the next thing to do is to bring in the product which you want to showcase. So increasing the size a little bit could be the best. So what do we need to do at this juncture? So what we need to do at this juncture is to shift a little bit. So I'm shifting this a little bit up so that I can position this there. Perfect. So now everything seems to work very well. So now after this has been done, we need to do a kind of a little tricks here, but no trick, believe me. Just pay attention. I need to use the power of um I need to use the power of mask. So turn on your mask. The first thing to do, since your mask is bigger like that, you need to reduce it. When you reduce the mask, turn on this particular four arrow to move it up. When you move it up, return back to bezier mode. When you return that to that, you can use it to select or to move the mask to area where you wanted. So when you do this, it will be very easy. What do we want to do? We want to carve this particular product inside this particular circle. So when you do this, very simple. This one will be at the top. Why the one you cut, you copy. You see why I copy it? Then you go back to the mask. We are in. You see, mask mode is on in. Don't now select the out. We give you the remaining part. Now use your eye very well, observe well to move it to join back. You understand? So that there won't be any traces of cutouts. Okay? So do it very well. No, there should not be traces. There should not be traces. So you have to make your eye sharp here. So I'm able to figure that out. You can now zoom out. So when you zoom out, you can see it clearly. Okay, turn off this zoom, then adjust again. Guys, this is perfect now. Okay, this is perfect now. Now turn on this zoom and you reduce. Now what you need to do, send the second one you did, send it back. Then you are good to go. No magic there. Now that we are able to achieve that, okay, what do we need to do? I'm going to mark the two together, then I will shift it up a little bit. Okay, don't let it show traces. Cool. So the next thing we need to do at this juncture is to make this thing work like it's placing on inside this particular stuff as real as this. Then let there be drop shadow. So I will go to the shadow area, copy, replicating the shadow, make it to look exactly as I wanted. Okay, let it be like this. Perfect. Then you go to opacity, increase it. Then we'll position that here to make it look awesome. So we'll go to rotation. Let it rotate a little bit. Okay. Reduce the size. So rotate. Okay. Cool. Let it be. Sorry. We'll have to lock it so that our hand will not disturb. So after we're able to lock, we can do a justice to our shadow to make it appear real. So now you make this to be closer a little bit. Let it close a little bit. Okay, and this is cool. So now let's put in all our write up to make it um to garnish everything. So I will go to the text area like this. So getting to the text area, I have a smartwatch. Okay, smartwatch. smartwatch. Okay, having that, I will go to font area. So getting to the font area, let me see whether I can use an Acumen. Acumen font could be the best. So I have a smartwatch. So let it be a little bit bigger. Reduce the opacity, okay, to see them clearly. Okay, perfect. I mean, reduce the zoom. Okay, so this is cool now at this area. So I have to copy, then put in for a smart lifestyle. For a smart lifestyle. Okay, then we look for Acumen board. Yeah, we position that, give it a little space, and that should be here. So we don't increase the size, and if it does, we need to 58, make this to 58 as well. Excuse. Then when we're able to do that, we need to select the both color like this, and we can make it to be more brighter than this one. Okay, but I guess this is cool, right? So we can still leave it to make it cool like this, or better still, let's increase and make it more bold. So guess this is cool. Then we can increase the upper one as well, and we'll get the result. So when we're able to do this, I guess we need to reduce the size for this to 55, what we suggest, why this should be reduced to 55 as well. So we shift this to start from here to make it look awesome. So we can still reduce the size to 50, why this can stay in 54. Okay, perfect. Now we copy this and we have what we call a, let's say we have cycling mode. So cycling mode. Then we position this here. So when we have our cycling mode, we reduce the size, and we'll have that to be positioned around here, okay, on top of this. So when we're able to do that, then we have 12 hours battery. 12 hours battery. So we can space this a little bit while we copy this, okay, while we have this that double, or we'll put it in one and readjust. 12 hours battery, 12 hours battery. Okay, perfect. So let's go back and double space this once more. Then when we're able to do that, the next thing is to find a means to position that in between here. So if that is too long, we can reduce this to something like 20. Why this should be reduced to something like 20 as well. Okay, perfect. So when you reduce to 20, you reposition that here. Okay, cool. So the next thing we need to do is to do the same running mode. So we copy this, having what we call this that, or we'll put a running mode first. Running mode. Running mode. Position that here. Okay, this is cool here. This is cool. So the next thing we can do, Okay, cool. Is copy this having 50%. Let's say 50% off, 60%, 50% off. So we need to duplicate this anyway. So I'm position that very a little bit bigger under this. So after I'm able to do this, so position that under this. So I'll copy first, then go to opacity, reduce this to reduce the opacity, but let me showing a little bit why this will be placed on top of it but reduced, but not as obvious as this, but should be showing. Then I'll position this on top of it. Okay, perfect. Increase a bit. Okay, perfect. Then after that has been done, copy this. Then you have what we call www.smartwatch or smartwatch.com. Now you can bring this to be at the bottom. Okay, perfect. Now centralize this to make it look presentable. And the next thing we need to do, put in the logo. So once you put the logo, so just put any alphabet. So we'll go to the font. I don't need to create any logo, so I use word-based logo. So I can select any kind of a logo of my choice here. So just type any alphabet, then view all the alphabet. You can tell or use any logo of your choice. So I don't see anything to letter F, so I'll go HIJKLM. Okay, so I should be able to view one. So if I don't see anyone from here, LMNOPQRST, so I will still view. So what guys, I can use the P, but okay for me, just for educational purpose anyway. So I will use a Walmart. So the Walmart will be at the top. So change the color to what I want. Okay, perfect. So go for Walmart. So Walmart. So now go to padding to show everything. Okay, if the stuff is not showing, padding. So we are good to go. We are good to go right now. So everything is cool now. So, and this is just a tips on how you can come up with a social media and post on your Android smartphone using your PixelLab. I believe we'll learn something from here with the help of a masking. I guess we are cool with what we learn from here. Okay, and I believe we will learn something and we will continue to learn more. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget, just consider subscribing so that you won't miss any kind of a amazing tutorial like this, because I will continue putting up all this kind of lesson on my channel. And if you are subscriber, don't forget to turn on the notification bell icon so that you don't miss any of my tutorial whenever I update my channel with new video like this. Share, like, and drop your comment on your way out after watching. I will drop the link of this video at the description. Link of the watch, the wristwatch for your practice. Don't forget, the more you learn, the more you know. Don't forget to save your work at a PNG format, and dimension should be ultra. Another thing is that you might decide not to save with that, since we already select this particular, so you can use the custom. You understand? So when you use the custom, the quality will not just disturb. Thanks for watching once again. God bless you.